the girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
German prosecutors are investigating Porsche board members all over Stinkygate again. Here we go. 168 officials now searched 10 offices and homes in Bavaria, wherever that is. And it sounds kind of crude, doesn't it? Bavaria. And Württemberg, Baden. Another place in Germany I never heard of, but that's all right. Looking for evidence that these executives were fully aware of the cheat devices installed on the Porsche diesel vehicles. A Porsche spokesman came online and confirmed that the searches were going on, but that's when his mouth closed. He said no more. So stay tuned on this one, guys. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on that one. This is disturbing. A federal judge last week in Washington has dismissed diesel lawsuits filed in Salt Lake City, Utah, and Hillsborough County, Florida, against Volkswagen for Stinkygate. Well, Judge Charles Breyer he says that the EPA he thought the EPA enforced the emission rules properly. Whatever that means, I don't understand. Maybe the fine by the EPA was enough or whatever, but he didn't want to give the people any more money from Volkswagen, the people that lost money on their cars, okay? But was justice served? Well, you and I are going to watch this one real carefully, guys, real carefully, because I think that better not set a precedent. Volkswagen did the dirty deed, hid it for how many years, just like Takata in their airbags, GM in their ignition switches, Toyota in their unintended acceleration, Chrysler with their exploding Jeeps. I mean, come on. What's up? Come on. Give the people their due. If you own one of those cars that is diminished in value because of a deadly recall. People have recalls all the time. Oh, the window doesn't roll right, or wind noise, water leaks, this or that. That's not a problem. You have a recall with a deadly recall on your vehicle. Who wants to buy it? Who are you going to sell it to? Are you going to feel okay selling it to somebody? No, you're not. And I'm not going to feel comfortable buying it. The poor salesman on the used car lot's just got to pretend he doesn't know nothing because he just wants to make a living and sell a few cars. I don't know. This whole situation is starting to stinkle again, and we'll see what happens. That's all. All I know is there's a lot of Volkswagens in different places in this area. You go out to the Gary Airport, and there's got to be 10,000 of them out there. There's got to be another 10,000 in Balmoral Racetrack out here in Illinois. They're just stashing them everywhere they can. The Pontiac Silverdome. They're filling every place. Get rid of these stinky old diesels. All right. I promised you, and I don't know that I'm going to do this correctly, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have a real problem with a little story that my little buddy T-Rex sent me this week. He didn't think it was going to light my fire, and it did. Simply because I never thought I'd see the day when Big Oil began to sweat. But here we are. When I say Big Oil, I mean Exxon Valdez and, Esso and BP and all of them, Gulf, all of them. GM, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler are petitioning the government to have available just one grade of fuel. Why are the big three doing that? We'll talk. Listen up. One grade of fuel, a 95 octane gas that will take the name of the new regular. It will be regular, 95 octane regular. And that'll be all you can buy, all right, for all the cars. Of course, it'll be at an increased cost, of course. The big three and their big oil buddies claim that this is the cheapest way to increase fuel economy across the country, across the board. Let's you and I look at this from our standpoint. First and foremost, the fuel companies are finally starting to feel the loss of sales due to electric vehicles, hybrids, and fuel cell and natural gas powered cars and trucks. It's finally starting to put a dent into their billions of, or trillions of dollars of profit. Put a big deal in it. Also, they are reading the writing on the wall, and they know that the internal combustion gas guzzling vehicle is eventually going to go the way of the dinosaur. And it is. And rightfully so, I might add. Americans are tired of the stinky, noisy, polluting toys. And I, for one, will certainly welcome being free from Middle East oil supplies. Now, this does not include what I really like the best, and that's my old time restored hot rods. There should still be gas available for those guys. Every penny that they have put into those cars, they deserve to get every ounce of enjoyment out of them. And that's the name of the game. This I'm talking about is the general consumer and what is going to be the trend in our country. Now, what's the best way to cut refining expenses and bring those huge profits back? At least temporarily. Consolidation, of course. 87 octane was always considered regular. 87 octane was regular. And most cars run just fine on it. 88 to 90 octane is the middle grade or mid-range for the larger, maybe more powerful engines. And 91 to 94 is premium for horsepower and performance. The difference in price between regular 87 octane, okay, and premium could easily be as much as 50 cents a gallon in some stations, or as much as $8 to $10 a fill-up, okay? Well, by cutting back to just one grade of gasoline at 95 octane, refineries will have cut production costs by 2/3. They're not making the other two grades now. They're making one grade, 95 octane. And it doesn't take that much more to make an extra octane, to make one octane, okay? Let me just tell you. They will have cut production costs by 2/3 and simplified as well as shrunk refining processes. And plus streamlining filling stations in the process. Okay? They're going to be less gas pumps, less big tanks in the ground. It's not a big deal. They're saving their money. They're saving their pennies. Well, Detroit's Big Three claim this consolidation of fuel and raising the octane level will improve fuel economy in cars across the board by a whopping 3%. Yeah, really, 3%. We're going to increase fuel economy by 3%. Now let's crunch some numbers, you and I, okay? If your car is currently using regular at, say, we'll just throw a price out there, $2 a gallon, and 94 octane premium is priced at $2.35 a gallon, a conservative guess actually, and the next time you go to fill up your car, the only gas available is the all-new 95 octane regular. What do you suppose that higher firepower is going to cost? Will the oil companies lower their prices to help us, the consumers, savor the lower costs of consolidations? All right, if you're done laughing, I'll tell you what's really going to happen, okay? You don't think for a minute you're going to pay less for that gas, do you? Okay? I mean, it's not going to come close. Now, some of those tax breaks, depending on the price of the car, were as high as $32,000. Of course, you're buying a $120,000 Tesla or, well, Fisker, but there was never one made, or any of the other ones, you could get a nice tax rebate of $32,000. Of course, if you can afford that kind of car, you need that kind of tax rebate. Okay? That's the way it is. The tax, that was capped at $32,000, by the way. You couldn't get any more than that, depending on the car you bought. I remember the original one's $3,500. I mean, you could get different things different ways, okay? That's just how it was. And it was a good deal, but that's gone. That's going bye-bye. That's out of here. All right, all my gearheads and clutch busters, I hope you guys at Blue Top are listening, because you got to hear this one. Ford, and I know how much Johnny and the boys like Fords, right? Ford has announced a 1.5 liter engine. What are they putting it in? I didn't read that far because I almost croaked when I read 1.5. They don't say what they're going to put it in yet. but they're going to have a 1.5 liter engine that is a 3-cylinder. Oh yeah, 3-cylinder. Tell me how they're going to balance that. I just have never, unless it's a Wankel, I can't imagine it being balanced like an airplane engine. But I can't imagine it. Anyway, the 1.5 liter Ford engine, 3-cylinder, with using automatic and computer controlled cylinder deactivation, will run on just 2 cylinders. Can you imagine running your car on 2 cylinders? I mean, the boys at Blue Top with the big V8s and the one guy with the Jaguar with the V12, can you imagine running on 2? And what do you call it if it's a 3-cylinder? Is it a V3? Can't be a V3 unless the one piston is bigger than the other two. I don't know. Maybe that's how they balance it. Holy cow. 1.5 liter, but 0.7 liter of it is one piston. Well, that's insane. I don't get it. I don't like it, but everything, they're talking about maybe in the Focus. That's what I see here. They're going to put a 1.5 cylinder, 1.5 3-cylinder that will deactivate down to 2 cylinders. Can you imagine being on the highway with 2 cylinders? They're going to make sure we can't speed anymore. You know that. They just are. Are we winning? Are we winning this little trade war with China? Let me ask, all right? I'm going to show you why I think we are. Because the doors to China are opening very slowly. You know that creaking noise you hear when old doors open? Well, China is starting to open up the car world now. I'm not talking about. And I want to read this quote for quote, because this was the end of a rule that was put in place in 1994. The country will remove limits on companies making fully electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles in 2018, commercial vehicle firms in 2020, and the wider passenger vehicle market by 2022. China's state planners said in a statement. That was a quote. They're going to allow other countries or other companies from other countries to come in and start building cars there. Originally, the only people that built cars in China were from China. I mean, they had to be, and they were government owned. Everything's government owned there. It's communist. What do you want? Everything is government owned. It just is. I don't know what else to tell you. But this rule was put in place in 1994 where nobody could come in and start building automobiles in China. But now so all of a sudden they can. Wonder what happened there, you think? I think I know. All right, for all you Ford buffs, all right, you got to hear this. Heads up, boys at Blue Top, all the hot rodders. The Ford Motor Company, and I know you love Fords, Ford Motor Company is going to bring back the Cobra Jet for its 50th anniversary. 50th? Holy crap. How old is this car? How old am I? The Ford Mustang Cobra Jet. It will be a 150 horsepower, 8.5 seconds, quarter-mile vehicle. Factory. The last time they did this, this time they're only going to make 68 of the 2018 Mustang Cobra Jet. 68 of them. And it will top 150 mile an hour. It'll be the fastest factory-built Mustang ever. The last time they did this was in 2016. I wonder what anniversary that was, the 48th? That's crazy. But it produced 50 of the track-ready race cars. These cars you can buy and take it right out to the track, and my God. An 8-second quarter-mile car off the showroom floor. I don't think so. I don't like it. Not a bit. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, right here in our own backyard, Lear Corporation, the people that make the seats. They're over here in Hammond. They're in Detroit. They're based in Detroit, but they're right here. They got a plant here in Hammond, Northwest Indiana. And they're making the new high-tech seats. They've shifted gears in the seat business. That sounded kind of odd, but that's just what it is. They had to look forward to getting into not just building the seats, but making them functional with the new technology. The new technology being, and it started with Lincoln. Lincoln has the technology that it senses me walking up to the car and adjusts the seat before I ever unlock the door. It can see me coming to the driver's door and it adjusts the seat. Now, Say somebody's just walking by. Is it going to keep adjusting the seat 5 different times while you're in the grocery store? You have a dead battery when you come out. Anyway, so they got to work on that. But as I'm walking up to the car, the seat will automatically adjust to my size. Okay? You probably when I walk up, they're gonna probably put it in the back seat and they're gonna make the moonroof open. But I'm just telling you, so Lear Corporation, one of our local employers here in Northwest Indiana, is going to change gears and they're going to go for it. And they're going to be part of this whole deal. They're going to be high tech, and I mean, it's going to be really cool. Seats that shift and turn, because you're going to have self-driving vehicles. You got to have seats that can spin around and you can play cards. Wouldn't you like to sit around and face your mother-in-law while you're driving cross country for about 18 hours? Yeah, I would.